Hey guys, welcome back to another episode from Zero Podcast. My name is Danae Marquez.
And I'm Jocelyn Marquez.
And today's topic of conversation is going to be about Gen Z and why they feel so lost in their 20s. I think the Gen Z range is what? Between 15 and 28? 29, I think. We should have done research on that, but there's like a big group of us now in our 20s, and we kind of just want to talk about how everyone is feeling, why many feel lost, and all that stuff. So 72% of Gen Z are currently feeling behind at some point in their life, and I think they're feeling it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm on that boat right now with my career. So I recently did an interview as in a teaching job, and I just thought that maybe teaching was for me. When I did the interview, they said I was going to get paid minimum wage, and I think I just second guessed what I'm supposed to be doing for a minute. But the teaching job gave me clarity so that I can move along with real estate. And I don't know. There's like a part of me that's still like, oh, maybe you are meant to be a teacher. But then the other part of me is like, okay, no, let's just go hard and let's go into real estate and give it your all, because we've talked about this before. When you're 2 years into real estate, you kind of want to back out because you kind of see how difficult it is. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people put so much pressure on, like, not pressure, but once you get your real estate license, you really have to grind, because if you don't, most people within the first year quit and lose their license. And I think there's a stat there's like a big percentage of agents that don't even close, you know. And I think, like you said, between getting your real estate license and school, I think that has to do with the fact that Gen Z now has so many options when it comes to literally everything, when it comes to careers, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to life. Like, you can rent, you can buy, you can have this career or this career. And there's always jobs that are continuously changing, especially with AI, that it makes it difficult to have one set thing and stick to it, you know, especially when we're asked to already have our minds made up about what we're going to do at such a young age. You know, our frontal lobes don't fully develop until 25 for most people, 23 to 25 for women, and then 25 to 27 for men. So men, you're behind. And when it comes to the frontal lobe, that has to do with your judgment, your planning, your impulse control, you know. So all of that has to do with the decisions that you make, you know. And so, yeah.
No, I think it's difficult to just feel sure in life, but I don't know, just sticking to one thing and can help you figure out if this is even whatever path you're in, if it's meant for you or not. Going back to what I was saying about the interview, I don't know, I had prayed to God nights and nights if real estate was for me. And then once I did the interview and they told me it was going to be minimum wage, it wasn't worth it for me. I have to be paying for a caregiver for my child, and then the gas nowadays is super expensive. So I was like, no, this isn't going to work. My husband and I talked, and he's like, well, I rather just keep paying for everything that you're putting into real estate, and so that you have that time with your son, than going into a minimum wage job and not having that interaction, as much interaction and time for our family.
Can you believe that, though, that you were offered minimum wage to work 40 hours with a whole bunch of kids? I could not imagine that.
I know. I think that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother topic about
like the
teachers.
system.
Yeah, they deserve to be paid more. You know, all that hard work, all those kids. I can barely handle my siblings. You know, I have 3 younger siblings, and just being in a room with them for more than a few hours can be a headache. So just imagine like you have 30, 20 kids, you know,
Yeah.
right there that you have to control and then teach them, and hopefully they learn something, you know, for minimum wage. That's crazy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you already answered this question. What was the last time you felt truly unsure about your path? I mean, I think that you deciding whether you want to stick to real estate full time or if you want to take the teacher path. You know, I think a lot of the times that I feel unsure has to do with business too, just determining what path within the industry that I'm at do I want to take. Because in real estate, you can do all kinds of things. We talked about this too. You can either do the sales, you can become a broker, have agents under you, build a team. You can be as simple as a transaction coordinator, you know, so there's a lot of different paths within the same industry too, that it's sometimes hard to decide, like, okay, do I want to stick to sales or do I want to stick to the brokerage, you know, and help and just continue to grow that. So I think those are little things that I'm unsure about now, but I think a big thing is, if you feel unsure, just continue to educate yourself. I think the problem is that once someone feels lost, they kind of just want to wallow in their own feelings and like, oh, I'm lost, I don't know what to do, and they kind of give up, you know. So I think that's one tip that I would give to Gen Z is don't give up, you know. Like, ask around, ask your friends, there's so many people out there that are willing to help, even us. If you guys like even just message us and like, hey, you know, I want to get my real estate license or I'm not sure what path to take, we'd be more than happy to answer them for you, you know, because I think it's really important that we all help each other, you know, and especially in times where we often feel lost, you know, and are unsure of what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think being lost is necessary though?
I think at times it can be, but sometimes you feel like you're on the right path and then you come across an obstacle or a challenge and then you feel lost, or you feel like, oh, what am I doing? Am I even in the right path? So we recently went to Michigan and so I was talking to Ashley. She's another realtor. And we were about to board the plane. We were waiting to board on the plane. And I got deja vu. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, I just got deja vu. And I was explaining it to her. And she's like, well, what do you think deja vu means? And I was telling her this is my, like, weird thinking of it. But I was saying it's your present self trying to catch up to your future self. And then she said, well, I know it of it being, you know, you're on the right path when you get deja vu. That means you're on the right path. I thought that was pretty cool, and I was like, I'm gonna start seeing it like that, because you don't get deja vu that like often or frequently. So I'm like, well, that makes sense to me. At least it makes sense. But
yeah, I was telling her I get it about food, you know, when I see a food, it's like I was meant to have this pizza or this burger.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, take it.
It was meant to be.
I was supposed to be eating this.
Yeah.
So we were also wanting to talk about, I guess you can say maybe 4 eras that you can be in your 20s.
Yeah, that I think many Gen Z are feeling right now. Ones that you see on social media, ones that you see in person, and all that stuff. And I think the first one that we tend to see, I think, in social media a lot is that YOLO era of doing whatever you want. You know, it's like, I'm young, I want to go travel, I want to go party, I want to go drink, I want to be with my friends. Like, I don't have any responsibilities right now. I'm young, you know. And many tend to prioritize experiences over stability, you know. But I think a big risk to that is that many tend to avoid responsibility for too long, that you hit that midlife crisis that I think people say, like, okay, what do I spent most of my time partying. Now I don't have anything set for me. I'm turning 30.
You don't know what stability is.
Yeah, like I'm turning 30 and I don't know what I'm going to do. And so that's one era that I think we see on social media a lot, you know? And it makes us feel sometimes like, oh, like I'm missing out.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say I have a lot of like friends that do the clubbing and that go out, go drinking. And And I'm just like, dang, maybe I, like I
Should be
didn't
me.
experience that. And truthfully, like my husband and I had talked about that. My husband's like, no, I don't like the clubbing. That's not for me. Like he's more of a let me cry and let me get this so that we can do better for the future. And I was kind of in that like, but let's experience this. Let's go clubbing. Let's try this out. See how it is or what it is about. And I never did it because one thing he did tell me, he's like, if that's the life you want, then we're not meant for each other.
Yeah.
He's like, we're like, I'm not gonna be with you if this is what you want to be
If
doing.
this is your mindset. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. And so we never did it.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that I never experienced that now. But there was a moment where I was just like, I want to be there. I want to be having that. But
That
now,
fun.
yeah. But now I think, what's the point to it?
Mm-hmm.
But to each their own. Everybody has their own feeling towards it. Some people, it may help them out with whatever's going on in their life. But yeah, what do you think about the YOLO era?
The YOLO era is very intense.
Yeah.
I think same thing. You see it on social media, and it looks when people post their videos of them partying, it looks
And
fun.
drinking
You
and the
know,
shots.
yeah, they're shot, and it looks fun. You know, but then I realized like, okay, so you're spending Saturday and Sunday and Friday.
First of all,
partying.
how do you like? That's a lot of
Yeah.
money to be wasting. On
wasting and spending and all
alcohol.
that time?
And-
Yeah, alcohol. They must
and
drink a lot.
drinking. And I don't know I don't know how the club is. I don't know if like how much you waste on it, or like if you have to pay to get in. I don't
I
know.
have no idea. We don't go clearly.
But I mean,
Yeah, the money and the time. You know, I've heard people like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They spend their days drinking and they're barely sober for the next day, and then they gotta go back to work. And it's like, I don't know. I applaud you guys. I don't know how
Oh, my
you guys can
dad.
do that. Does he?
no, he doesn't do clubbing. But like growing up, I just remember him drink. He's not an alcoholic, you guys. Like I'm just saying, like occasionally, he would drink, and he's in construction. He's a tapero. He does drywall, and so he would like drink, and he'd go to sleep till 4 a.m, and he had to be up at 5. I don't know.
That's crazy.
And then he just he'd be ready and set. But now with age, he can't do
You
that
can't do that
anymore.
anymore. Yeah, I've seen people do that. It's crazy. But I think because Gen Z is so young, they're in their 20s, they have that energy.
Yeah.
You know, and so they can go out and party and all that stuff. But that's just not me. I don't think that's you either. But the next era that we have is the builder mindset. The grind now, relax later. They're focused on their career, making money, being disciplined, building something for their future. That often has delayed gratification because you don't see the results right away. You see them later on in life. I think it's great, but I think a risk could be that you experience burnout or missing. People say that you tend to miss life experiences.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have that YOLO era where you get to go out and party and all that stuff, you just miss those life experiences. I guess that depends on the person.
Yeah.
You know,
Because some people may view it as you do need that, or like how we say, just experience it to know what it is about. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, you have the YOLO era, the grinding era, and then you have the traditional timeline, which I think that's where you're at right now. I would say with a stable job, marriage, kids early, you have like that set. I guess you could say.
Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of my like Latinos and Mexicans and Hispanics, they tend to like have kids really early on, and so that was just kind of. I just thought that that's kind of what I want, that I wanted, and I'm happy I did. I'm happy I started early, but now looking at it from where I'm at, I do sometimes tend to see it as my mind, and my brain now is fully developed to where I was at when I was 21 when I had my baby. And I think I could have done better if I had my mindset that I have now, but I don't regret it. um, I, you can see it as like, oh, I'm growing with my son. So he's going through the changes, and I'm becoming better and doing better. That sucks for the first child, because you kind of
You're learning as you go.
you're learning with your parents, and you're seeing how they're messing up and doing better. But yeah, we started living. I think we started living together when we were 20. And so the story is that we wanted to live together. I was having some issues with my mom, and I thought the best thing was for me to go live with my now husband, because I wanted that freedom, and I wanted to just experience being on my own. And I'm like, oh, I love this person. I want to settle down with this person, and the best thing is to move in with his parents. But no, that's not the way to do it sometimes. So yeah, we sat down with his parents, and Alex told them, like, Papa, like, you know, Josie quiere vivir con nosotros. So he was just saying, like, oh, Josie wants to come live with us. We want to start creating a life here. Like, is it okay if we will live here under your roof? And his dad told him, you got to think about it. Have you thought about it? And then he said yes. And then he's like, okay. And then, because Alex, I remember he said, well, we want to try to live together. And he's like, no, this isn't a trying. This isn't a game. Like, you guys either are in it or you guys are not. So, like, you know, you need to be certain of this. Because he's like, we were together. So he's like, that woman is like, you have to provide for her and give everything for her. Like, no le puede faltar nada. She can't miss anything. Like, she needs to have everything. And she's your responsibility from now on. And he's like, yeah, I know. And his parents were like, do you want us to go talk to her parents? And we're like, no, we got it. Like, we'll talk to them. So we did. But
And then you left at the middle of the night.
Yeah,
No,
I
like,
did
bye,
it.
guys.
My mom cried. She
Aw.
was crying. But to say that, yeah, like, we started very early. We were only just living with my in-laws for a little bit, and then we moved to my parents, and then that's when we got our house. So I would say like a year is where we were not at we hadn't bought our house, and then after that, once we bought our house, we felt like more settled. But yeah,
Stable.
yeah, and then we didn't even have time to enjoy our house because then I got pregnant. Yeah, no, if you guys have the ability to just take time with your husband and enjoy your house, if you bought a house, that I would definitely recommend.
Yeah. And I'm the opposite. So no husband,
But
no
to each
kids.
their, like, everybody has, I think God really just has a plan for you, and you're supposed to be where you're at. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then that leads us to our last era, which is the hybrid path, the one where you kind of mix all of them together, you know? You have, you want to grind, you want to stay disciplined, but you also want to experience new things and you want to travel and do all that. So you have a mix of all of it, which is, I think that's where Gen Z is, most of them are at right now. But I think that also leads to feeling inconsistent and scattered because you don't have one set area that you're at, you know? And if you ask me, I think that's where I'm at right now. I think I'm in between that grind mindset where I want to build something, you know? I don't think I'm ready just yet for marriage and kids. One, because I don't think I found the right person yet. And two, because I want to build something for myself so I can then have something to leave for my kids, you know? And I like the traditional. That's what I wanted from the, like, as a kid. I wanted that whole marriage, young, kids young and everything. But like you said, God has different plans for different people. And so I think right now my goal is to just put in the work, put in the hours, build something for myself. And here and there, like, I don't think I'm 100% all work. So I do like to try new things, but I don't think it's also to the extent to where I'm clubbing, I'm drinking, and all that's partying. But I would like to travel a
You
little
know, we
bit
should do
more.
karaoke.
We were gonna do it in Michigan.
Yeah, we did.
But we were tired.
We should, but we should. We should.
We should.
I
So
feel
there's
like you don't need to have alcohol to have fun, but
no, I don't drink at all. So yeah, I mean, we had fun bowling.
yeah,
I think that was a good experience, you know. So trying new things. I don't think
Yeah.
I've been bowling that often. So going bowling, getting ice cream, just
yeah,
those things.
traveling, yeah,
Traveling, pickleball, all that stuff. So you don't have to drink or party to try new things. So I think that's where I'm at right now. Like I want to grind, but I also want to experience new things with with friends and everything. I think we had a good group go to Michigan.
yeah,
and
yeah.
it was fun. So trying new things. Like I don't think any of us were prepared to actually go and be away for 3 days away from family and away
yeah.
from
It was tough.
friends, but but it was good. I think we needed that. I think we needed that shift. So it's good to get away from everything for a second and get a new perspective on life
Yeah.
and everything. But
So, do you feel pressure to live a certain version of like your 20s?
Sometimes I think that is going to lead us to our next section about social media. I think social media tends to put a lot of pressure on Gen Z on how to live their life and what is expected of them. Because then you see that side of social media where it's a bunch of parties and friends and drinking, and it looks fun, you know, from afar. I don't think I could actually do it. I go to sleep at like 9. So
Yeah.
so going at 1 in the morning and
It
being
sounds
drunk is like,
draining.
yeah, like that's not me. But then you also have that that other section where like they're 19 and they're already millionaires, you know, and I'm like, oh, why
Yeah.
isn't that me? So
Yeah.
yet, but so I think Gen Z tends to feel that pressure from social media creating fake timelines of where you have to be at right now.
Right. And imagine like, so I feel like before you would already compare yourself without social media. Like you already compare yourself day to day with whether it's like it's hard not to, and you shouldn't. But whether it's within family, within friends, what they have going on, what they're doing in life, and you compare that. Now, I feel like so social media like amps it up to where like now you're comparing yourself to people that sometimes you don't even know or you don't even talk anymore, or it's like a old high school friend or middle school friend or whatever it may be. And yeah, so I think that definitely social media has a lot to do with the way we live now. And it doesn't matter if you're not in your 20s, you can be in your 30s.
And still feel that way.
I think as you tend to get older, you tend to care less. At least I've heard from older from, but yeah, so I'm excited to age.
to reach that
Yeah.
level of maturity.
Yeah, people are like, no, I don't want to get older. I'm excited to get to that age where I'm just wiser, more confident, more
Sure.
knowing who I am.
More knowledge, more experience. Yeah, but social media plays a big pressure even on Gen Z's mental health. We've seen an increase in anxiety to about 60% in Gen Z
Nice.
because of social media, which makes sense because someone said like those people who are millionaires young are normally nepo babies. I don't think that's true. I mean, I think that's a cool idea, but I've seen some kids that are just grinding it. Like,
yeah.
have you heard? I've always talked about him, Giuliano Massarelli.
Mm-hmm.
That kid just posts whatever he wants. He doesn't care what people think, and
Yeah.
he was able to create a spark on social media because of his insurance and the calls that he makes, and he just seems so enthusiastic, and he was able to make money at what is he, 19? You know, so I mean, I think part of it is like, I guess it depends on how you look at things. Because if you look at it as like, oh, that's so discouraging. I'm in my 20s and I haven't reached there, or you can see it as encouraging. Like if he could do it without any help, but him grinding and putting in the work, like why can't I do that? You know, I can do that too. You know, so I guess it just depends on how you tend to look at things too.
Yeah, and exactly same with social. I mean, you can either see like, oh, social media is the platform to put myself out there and to give it all, and so that I can become successful, or you can see the negative side. oh, it's because I have this friend of mine, or I'm seeing these coworkers that are succeeding, and I'm still here, not at their level. So
Yeah.
it's just how you use it. If you do whatever you use, or whether it's social media, career, anything you're doing, I think is as long as you do it with intention, then you're in the right path.
Yeah, absolutely. So, do you think? I mean, I think we answered this too. I think we answered the questions before we even ask it. But do you think social media has changed how we experience our 20s? Yeah.
Yeah, I do definitely.
Yeah, it's constantly changing, and there's so much on social media out there that I think it just changes the way that we see things. And I think sometimes we see things on social media and we tend to put too many excuses of why we're not where they are.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something that we as a Gen Z as a whole have to change, because social media is never going to go away. It's just going to keep on growing. So just learning to adapt to that social media, and instead of taking the bad things from it, take the good things. And like you, even when it comes to business, using that social media to your advantage. That's how the kid did it, putting himself out there, and now he's built a team because of it. So just mentality, and not excusing every little thing.
Yeah,
I think.
I think that's why we're here. Just that's what we're exploring, at least, putting ourselves out there, exploring the possibilities of what this platform can do for us, and what we can even achieve from if we're constantly putting ourselves out there, because it's uncomfortable. And your dad always says humans are like creatures of habit, and like we're just very comfortable, and we don't want to get out of it. So it's just kind of always being uncomfortable will get us the results.
Yeah, and even
Yeah.
if it doesn't, we don't see that in like money, in terms of money. Every little thing that we do is going to help us for something else, whether that's growing our knowledge or our confidence. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why we're doing this podcast, is just to one, I think the first one is to help people. We want to put ourselves out there to educate the community about, whether that be about real estate or about how Gen Z is feeling, and showing others that you're not alone in feeling these things, because the majority of people are feeling it too, and just exposure in all aspects. I think even just for ourselves, building our brand, we're just taking a different route. Not many people, I think, right now are doing podcasts. Well, at least in real estate. I've seen a lot of podcasts, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, there's a lot of podcasts, actually, but not, I don't think the way that we're doing it. Possibly. Who knows? There's like a lot of podcasts out there, actually, but yeah. And I think that leads us to our last topic of conversation, which is real estate and how that shows up in real estate in terms of Gen Z feeling like they're not ready. Like how Gen Z feel like they're not ready to buy. I think that's a mentality that we always feel like. But we talked about this multiple times already, but you didn't feel like you were ready to buy when you first bought, right?
No, I didn't feel I was ready to buy. It was kind of just we just went into it, but I don't know. I think I need to get my husband on here, because he has a different story to this, and I kind of get nervous every time I talk about how we started buying, because it was hectic. It was a lot, especially in the market that we were buying. So yeah, I need to get him on here so that you guys can see his point of view on that. But yeah, a lot of people tend to feel that when you're supposed to have your family, you're supposed to have your dream job, you're supposed to be at a certain lifestyle in order to buy, and that's not the truth. I wish I would have bought sooner. Maybe when I was living with my parents, so that I can rent that out and just having that extra income and still having my family with me. yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
just
yeah, and just knowing that buying a home isn't necessarily about being perfect. You know,
mhm,
you're always you're always gonna feel like you're not ready. Even you might have the finances and everything, but just internally you may feel like, because it's a big decision, you know,
mhm,
having to put so much $10,000-$15,000 in down payment and being
mm,
consistent in your monthly payment and all that
mhm.
stuff. You get that while renting too, but it's just a different, because now you own it. So
Mm.
it's I feel like it's a lot more
More
pressure and it's a lot more
responsibility.
mental.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of Gen Z feel that right now when it comes to buying. And yeah, just not being perfect. Like, you don't need the perfect credit score. You don't need the perfect, there's no set amount of down payment. And it's just whatever works for you, the one buying, you know? And I think that's why it's so important to reach out to people who are willing to put the time and effort to explain things to you.
Mhm.
A good lender to explain your finances, to see where you're at. And even if you're not ready, there are people out there that could help you. There are lenders and realtors that are there for you to help you stay accountable. Like, okay, I have this goal. I want to buy by the end of the year. Okay, what can we do? Do we need to improve your credit? Like, how are we going to do that? We have assistance in credit repair too. Or, I don't have my down payment yet. Okay,
Mhm.
we have down payment assistant programs out there that are there to help you purchase a house now. Or let's say you, like, you know what, I want to save money for my down payment. Okay, what are we going to do to achieve that? What's our
Yeah.
goal? What's our timeline? And that's why it's so important, I think, for Gen Z to realize that everyone feels the same thing. Like, I'm not sure, should I buy now? But just surrounding with yourself with people who are willing to educate you, I think, is so important.
Yep.
Uh,
Okay.
so
Did you want to close it off?
yeah, so now we have a few rapid questions, really quick.
Okay.
Just one sentence question, and then we'll see. Answer.
Okay.
would you would you rather be broke in your 20s but having fun, or disciplined and financially ahead?
Um, I think disciplined and financially ahead, but no, I'm not that right now.
We're we were saying, like, we're broke and not financially ahead. I don't
Or
even know how
having
is it-
fun.
Oh yeah, we're having fun. We're just broke. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think the goal is to be disciplined and financially ahead. We're getting
Yeah.
there. We're
Yeah.
almost there. Is it better to marry young or wait until you're fully ready? Is that for me or is that for you?
I don't know. I think because I loved being a young mom and starting my
Yeah,
marriage. Like,
that's
we
what I wanted
already
too.
have so much experience in our relationship, and so I like where I'm at. But I think to each their own.
Yeah. If you ask me, well, now, if you asked me like 2 years ago, the idea was to marry young, you know.
Mm.
But now it's like, where I'm at, it's like I'm gonna wait until I feel like I'm ready to take on that responsibility, because I know it's a lot of responsibility for you
Yeah, it
to
is.
maintain a house, husband, kids, work, you know. So it's a lot of responsibility, and she's doing it beautifully.
Oh,
But
thank you.
but I don't think I'm there yet. I don't think I can do that yet. So, um, should your 20s be more about experiences or stability?
Um,
I think
I-
both.
yeah, I
No?
think you can mix both for sure.
Yeah, travel, go to Michigan with friends, and make it a business
Yeah, not
pleasure type thing.
this is not business. Okay.
Yeah. Is feeling lost a red flag or green flag? I don't think it's either.
Yeah, I don't think it's either.
Yeah, I mean, feeling lost doesn't necessarily mean it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
It just means that maybe you need to take a different route.
Yeah,
But I also don't think it's
yeah,
the best thing.
yeah. It just depends how lost you are.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, if you're really lost, it's
like,
over for you.
yeah,
No.
like, no, yeah. If you're doing like drugs and all that, like, no, like that's
Yeah,
a red
yeah,
flag.
yeah, big red flag. Yeah. Would you take a dream job? Okay, I think this is for you. Would you take a dream job that's unstable, or a stable job you don't love?
I think I would take a dream job.
That's unstable.
I don't know. Wait, what was the question? Okay.
Would you
wait,
take a dream job that's
that's-
unstable? I guess it depends
Yeah.
on what unstable means. Like
So you
money
can-
wise, like
Yeah. Because
No,
real
okay.
estate, you can say it's unstable, but
Yeah.
if you're like treating it as a job,
So I guess it's like the entrepreneur,
neural.
yeah, route where everything's always constantly going up and down.
Mm-hmm.
So if your dream job is like, let's say, real estate, I'd rather choose the unstable than stable, the 9 to 5 stability that I absolutely hate because
Yeah.
I don't have time for anything.
Yes.
But-
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's all the questions that we have today. So I think this podcast was really just to tell people that you don't have to have everything figured out in your 20s. Everyone's in their own path. You know, you got the YOLO life era, you got the grind mindset, you got the traditional life, and then you got a mix of everything. So you're not alone in feeling like a bit lost in your 20s, because at all points many of us are feeling this same exact thing. But it just matters about how you move from it, or move
how intentional you are.
about your next steps. So
Okay.
yeah, that's it for today. So I guess like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time.
See you on the next one.